Welcome to Reader Channel, Episode 1.27. Today I will read Chapter 3, National Policies, Strategic Plans, and Action Plans. For Natural Protected Area Management, from Article 354 to Article 363. Article 354. National Policies on Natural Protected Areas. 1. The Ministry responsible for Environment and Natural Resources shall develop a draft National Policy on Natural Protected Areas directed at Sustainable Natural Protected Areas. Management. 2. The National Policy on Natural Protected Areas shall be launched by the Royal Government. Article 355. National Strategic Planning for Natural Protected Areas Management. 1. The Ministry responsible for Environment and Natural Resources shall develop national strategic plans for natural protected areas management in compliance with national policies on natural protected areas in consultation with relevant ministries or institutions, subnational administrations, and relevant stakeholders. 2. National strategic plans for managing natural protected areas shall be decided by the Royal Government as proposed by the Ministry of responsible for Environment and Natural Resources. Article 356. Review and modification of Natural Protected Areas Management Plan. 1. The Ministry responsible for Environment and Natural Resources shall develop, review, and modify national strategic plans for natural protected areas every 5 years in consultation with relevant ministries or institutions, subnational administrations, and relevant stakeholders. 2. National strategic plans for natural protected areas shall be reviewed and modified in a period of less than 5 years in the following necessary cases. A. There is specific scientific information and awareness of natural resources and ecosystems, including types of animals, plants, biological resources. Punto, economic, social, and cultural resources. B. Existential threats to natural protected areas. C. Implementation in compliance with the government policies. Article 357. Action Planning. 1. The Ministry responsible for Environment and Natural Resources and subnational administration shall develop action plans for natural protected areas management in compliance with the National Strategic Plans on Natural Protected Areas in consultation with local communities and stakeholders. 2. The Ministry responsible for Environment and Natural Resources should launch action plans for natural protected area management. Chapter 4. Establishment and modification of natural protected areas. Article 358. Establishment of natural protected areas. 1. The establishment of natural protected areas shall be determined in a subdecree upon proposal by the Ministry responsible for Environment and Natural Resources or upon proposal by a subnational administration to the Ministry responsible for Environment and Natural Resources in consultation with relevant ministries or institutions, subnational administration, and relevant stakeholders. 2. The establishment of any natural protected area shall be based on the findings of the research, special features, value, use, and potentials for natural resources, biodiversity, ecosystem, historical site, geological, economic, social, and environmental factors, the purpose of management, right to use natural resources, and other relevant factors, as well as policies and strategies of the Royal Government. 3. Establishment of natural protected areas shall be based on at least one of the following criteria. A. Habitats of plant and animal species that are rare, nearly extinct, or threatened. B. Habitats of one or more migratory species. C. Areas of water sources or watershed, mountain, swampland, and forests that support ecosystems, biodiversity, and unique scenery for tourism. Deep special features related to history include cultural properties, the history of origins, caused by geological, physical, or biological factors, or human intervention. E. Habitats of coral reefs, marine plant species, spawning grounds, or habitats of marine species that are important for conservation, research, and entertainment. 4. Other criteria for establishing natural protected areas shall be determined by subdecree. Article 359. Categories of natural protected areas. Types of natural protected areas are as follows. A. National Park. B. National Marine Park. C. Wildlife Sanctuary. D. Protected Landscape. E. Multiple Use Area. F. Ramsar Site. G. Biosphere Reserve. H. Natural Heritage Site. I. Other Natural Protected Areas. Article 360. Modification of Natural Protected Areas. 1. Any modification of natural protected areas shall be determined by a subdecree upon the proposal by the ministry responsible for environment and natural resources, or proposal by subnational administration to the ministry responsible for environment and natural resources in consultation with relevant ministries or institutions, subnational administrations, and relevant stakeholders. 2. Any modifications of natural protected area shall be based on research findings, criteria, management purpose, right to use natural resources, land tenure rights, and other relevant factors. 3. Any modification of natural protected areas shall comply with a. The importance of biodiversity, topography, geology, history, culture, and conservation of the areas proposed to modify the natural protected areas. B. Conditions and situations of the areas proposed for modification of natural protected areas by attaching clearly scaled maps indicating the site, boundaries, and size of the natural protected area. C. The managements of the region and existential threats. D. The use of natural resources and land in natural protected areas. E. The outcomes from the consultation with relevant ministries or institutions, subnational administrations, and stakeholders. F. The applicable provisions of government policies and strategies. Article 361. Incorporation of natural protected areas into the international framework. 1. The royal government may modify any natural protected areas with national and international significance and apply for world or regional natural heritage status in compliance with criteria in the national or regional legal instruments. 2. For any natural protected area listed as a world or regional natural heritage, the royal government shall take necessary measures to ensure the conservation management of the site in compliance with regional or international legal tools. Article 362. Determination of protected and conservation sites in natural protected areas. 1. In each natural protected area, there may be the determination of genetic diversity, protection and conservation sites, and classification, categories and types of forest, wild plants, wild animals, fishery, and biodiversity resources. 2. The determination of genetic diversity, protection and conservation sites, and classification, categories and types of forest, wild plant, wild animals, fishery, and biodiversity resources shall be determined in the PRACAs by the Minister responsible for environment and natural resources. Article 363. Natural heritage preservation and protection. The ministry responsible for environment and natural resources, and the ministries or institutions responsible for cultural heritage, shall collaborate to establish or modify natural heritage site protection, preservation, and conservation. Thank you for listening, and see you in episode 1.28. Bye for now.